I don't think Democrats haven't spent any time around guns. I don't think they have any clue what guns look like, how guns work, how they shoot, the ammo that goes inside guns. It's just essentially, let's ban whatever gun looks the scariest.
Yes, so that's the thing. So that it looks scary, let's get rid of it.
Yeah, it's like, it's the social justice warrior mindset. It's, oh, we banned this scary gun. Look at us. Look at how great we are. We all know about the horrific Colorado shooting that was just yesterday. And we're still learning all the facts from that case, and it's important to gather all those facts. But Democrats, in their usual political fashion, have jumped to pushing for radical gun control,
of course.
Potentially unconstitutional gun control. Joe, would you like to tell us some more about that?
So, yeah, as you said, Joey, very tragic thing happened on, I believe it was,
So yesterday?
Yeah, Monday. I think it was Monday.
Was it Monday?
Yeah, it was Monday evening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but a shooter, walked into a supermarket and killed, I believe it was 10 people. It was very sad. But, you kind of saw within hours, kind of everyone sort of flocked straight from this is sad to here's my position that I already held, and I'm not going to move from it. And you kind of saw that with Joe Biden, who gave a White House address yesterday, and he basically, admitted we don't know all of the facts, we don't know the motive, we don't know a lot of details about this, but he said, and I quote, I want to be very clear, this is the one thing I do know enough to say on in terms of what happened here. While we're still waiting for more information regarding the shooter, and then I'll skip ahead to a little bit, I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future and to urge my colleagues in the House and Senate to vote. We can ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines in this country once again. So, Biden is saying he wants to ban assault weapons, which is kind of an overly vague term that Democrats use, I think, to conjure up images of scary SWAT teams and military-style
machine guns,
weapons and machine guns. We know that's what they consider assault weapons are not that. It's,
right. Any weapon can be used to assault.
Yeah, that's the point of a weapon. You can
defending yourself.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
But I think, Democrats are calling for two things right now. They're calling for expanded background checks, universal mandatory background checks, and an assault weapons, in quotes, ban. For one thing, though, none of these things, first off, neither of these things would have stopped this shooting. And I think that's really important to point out while paying respect to the victims and to say, look, this wouldn't just, you have to be honest and you have to say, look, these measures, you're saying they're common sense. You're saying they could have stopped the shooting, but they wouldn't have. The alleged shooter in this case did not have any psychiatric court holds. He appeared to have some mental illnesses, but he didn't have anything on his record that would have prevented him from buying a gun. There was a record of the gun sale that was sort of referenced on the police affidavit, suggesting that he did have to pass a background check first. But then, we're also calling for an assault weapons ban, and it sounds like this guy may have had a gun that would count under one of the weapons that would count under, I'm explaining this badly, but it sounds like he would have had a weapon that Biden wants to ban, right?
Okay. Sure.
The problem is that the way that these assault weapons bans are phrased wouldn't have, stopped this guy from buying a gun. If this guy wanted to, walk into a supermarket and murder people, he would have bought it, because sort of the problem is, and I'm going to reference a bill that's been proposed by Dianne Feinstein, who authored the last so-called assault weapons ban that lasted she authored it in 1994 and expired in 2004.
Is that the one that was a complete and utter failure?
That's the one. That is indeed the one. Biden hasn't expressed support yet for her new and updated version of it, but he has, expressed support generally for this sort of ban.
Okay.
And, this thing that Feinstein supports, and it was the issue with the last ban as well, it goes after issues like it defines assault weapons based on things like having a forward grip or a folding or telescoping stock, a barrel shroud, a threaded barrel, a pistol grip.
What?
None of these things, the capacity to accept a detached magazine. All of these things may very well be characteristics of what we would call an AR-style weapon that Democrats want to ban. But they don't make a weapon more dangerous. They don't have anything to do with ammo size or rate of fire or any of that stuff You know, they don't make a weapon kill people more. They just are sort of these arbitrary things. Let's say we had banned AR-15 weapons. If a guy wants to murder people, he's going to walk into a store and then buy an equally dangerous gun that's just not an AR-15, and then he's going to use it to kill people. If someone's bent on murder, that's what they're going to do. It's just this ridiculous leap of logic to say, well, we're going to ban AR-15s or AR-15 style weapons, but kind of an equally deadly weapon we're not going to ban, and you can still buy that. But that's going to help stop mass killings. What's the thinking here?
Well, something that's important to note, and you kind of touched on this, Joe, the ammo that's used in your hunting rifle is the same ammo that goes into an AR-15.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of weapon. So someone could just walk in, buy a hunting rifle, and hunting rifles are also single shot, just like an AR-15 is. You know, if it's a bolt action, but still, it's still a single shot. It's not like AR you just hold down. Obviously, you don't have to do the bolt, but still, it's the same type of weapon. You could still shoot people with it if you wanted to.
A lot of lives.
You could buy a shotgun.
Yeah,
and I did check this before the show. Most mass shootings are committed with handguns. It's just that I don't think Democrats have spent any time around guns. I don't think they have any clue what guns look like, how guns work, how they shoot, the ammo that goes inside guns. It's just essentially, let's ban whatever gun looks the scariest.
Yes,
so
and
that
it looks scary. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, it's the social justice warrior mindset. It's, oh, we banned this scary gun. Look at us. Look at how great we are.
Yeah,
it does nothing practical.
What are your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, Democrats have been after guns for years and years and years now. I'm sadly the old guy on this panel, so. Even when I was a kid, I remember, kind of Democrats going after guns and the bizarre thing to me is that Democrats and the left have absolutely convinced themselves that the inanimate tool is the problem, not the living, breathing person using said tool in whatever manner they haven't, figured out in their heads. So I can't say I'm surprised that this is every time there's a shooting in this country, this is going to get brought back up,
right? Like clockwork.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as soon as we heard the news, like you said, I think Monday afternoon, like the three of us could have easily predicted what this week's news cycle was going to look like. Like easily could have predicted that. As far as Democrats, what they are thinking behind it is that they've just convinced themselves that the tool. And it does come from, I think, a place of faithlessness for Democrats. It's not, to them the physical, earthly tool is the be all end all. It has nothing to do with the spirituality of the person who's may have committed an atrocious act. It has nothing to do with the mental well being of the person who committed the atrocious act. It is, as far as Democrats are concerned, somehow the gun itself is they have no concern about solving issues like why did this guy do this? Was he just mentally ill? Was he? I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I mean I've seen so many things out there on the internet about what his motive could have been, but I don't want to I don't.
And I think that's also.